Oh, come on now. Let's wake up a little bit. How many of you love Jesus? Amen? Amen. It's good to have you all in service with us tonight for our annual Christmas by the Parkway program. And we're excited, number one, that you've come to be with us. And we hope that you'll make yourself right at home, that you'll be blessed here today. We, as always, have two components to our program. We have a children's ministry and their directors that put on the first program. And then we have our combined program with our teen and our young adult ministry. They put on the second program. And we'll tell you a little bit more of that here in just a few moments. But we're going to get started with our children's ministry program. And this is directed by Sister Brenda Roten and Sister Pam Potter. They direct this program each year. And we have a number of children. It's called Sing a Song of Christmas. And it's a musical portrayal of the message of Christmas. It's done in a very, very simplistic way to make it easy for everybody to grasp and understand the true meaning of Christmas. And so we want you to be blessed by our children's ministry program, and then we'll have just a little short intermission and we'll get on into the second program. We'll explain that to you as we go. But we do say welcome, and we're so glad to have you, and we appreciate you guys waiting on us for an extra half hour this evening. One of our church members went to be with the Lord a couple of days ago, and the viewing is going on right now, so we spent time at the funeral home before we got here tonight. But we want to say thank you for being patient and hanging with us an extra half hour so we could do that. But we're excited to have you. We're not going to delay any longer, and we're going to open up in a word of prayer and get started today. And so if you would, let's bow our heads for a word of prayer. And it's good to have my dear friend, Brother Russell Sheets, with us tonight. Brother Russell, I'm going to ask you if you would stand, brother, and lead us in prayer as we get started tonight. Amen. Church, would you put your hands together and welcome our children's ministry as they do Sing a Song of Christmas.
Can you hear it? Do you smell it? I don't think I can smell it. Do you see it? Do you smell it? I don't smell anything. Sure you can. Just use your imagination. It's Christmas time. You can see it, hear it, and smell it all around you.
I think it smells all cinnamony and sugary and piney.
And looks like lights and yes, and Tebby sets.
And the sounds, well, that's just the best part. Lots of laughs and thank yous fill the air, but it's the Christmas songs to help us remember why we're celebrating.
Some of the songs of Christmas have been sung for over hundreds of years. Every time we sing them, we fill the air with the great news of the birth of Jesus.
Come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. Crying, for the King of heaven. So let us adore Him. Oh, come, let us adore Him. Oh, come, let us adore Him. Christ the Lord. Bethlehem must have been a sight to see on the night Jesus was born. This little town was running over with people because Caesar ordered everyone to come to their hometown to be counted. Well, if you think the malls are crowded, well, let's just say that the shopping rush is nothing compared to when Caesar orders a census. That's right. Bethlehem was solemnly crowded with the most travelers. And in all the crowds, I noticed most of the people would miss the greatest miracle, the birth of Jesus, God's Son. Like so many others, Mary and Joseph had to travel to Bethlehem to be counted, but they were just like any ordinary travelers. As the days were accomplished, Mary brought forth her firstborn son in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger. While the streets of Bethlehem may have been overrun with travelers, not everyone was caught up in the crowds and noise of the census.
There were some poor shepherds out in the field with their sheep. If there were anyone around to hear the good news, it was these guys.
Good news. Hey, my dad just got good news. He saved money on his car insurance.
This is the news. This was delivered by God's angel for everyone and for everywhere.
The true amazing thing is that we get to experience Jesus right here, right now. His birth is just as real to us as it was to the shepherds and the wise men.
The angel said, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. In this day, in the city of David, a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. You will find him wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger."
Then an angelic choir in the heavens sang praise to God.
To God in the highest.
Glory to God in the highest. Glory to God in the highest. Glory to God in the highest.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him rooms. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature not the only ones who got heavenly invitation to worship baby Jesus. Wise men in the east saw the new star which signaled the birth of a great king. Guided by that star, they began the long journey to find and worship baby Jesus.
Hey, hey, I guess you could say the wise men's camels came equipped with the All-Star Guidance package.
Well, asking a computer for directions may be much quicker, but it is definitely not as spectacular as following a real star.
That's right.
The star was located on the east, and this was a sign that the babe came and stood where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced in exceeding joy. As they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and worshipped him.
We opened their treasures, then resentment, gifts, gold, frankincense, myrrh.
Kings of Orient high, bearing gifts, we travel so far. Through mountain born, mountain sparkling under star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star of morning, infinity bright. Now that we've sung the Christmas songs of the Christmas story, does Christmas look, smell, and sound the same to you? Wouldn't it have been amazing to be in Bethlehem when all this was happening? Smell the fresh cut hay in the manger? To hear the angels' good news on the hillside. To see the precious gifts the wise men brought.
To feel baby Jesus' little hand around my finger. Amazing things that we get to experience Jesus right here, right now. He's brought peace just as real to us as it was to the shepherds and the wise men. And like those first Christmas visitors, we just got to keep telling everyone about the birth of the Son of God.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the land, and where mountains in reply echoed back their joyous strains. Gloria, in the midst of states Now that we've sung the songs of the Christmas story, does Christmas look, smell, and sound the same to you?
I'm definitely adding fresh cut hay to my favorite Christmas smells. I say Christmas is all wrapped in love. God gave his son as the ultimate gift of love. Everything about Christmas is wrapped in love.
Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men.
Go tell it on the mountain. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born.
about love. God's love for us, our love for Him, and our love for others. It's all possible because of Jesus.
That's why we celebrate. That's why we sing.
That was funny. Thanks for giving me a heart attack.
Let's everybody get a blue book, turn to page 145, and help us sing Beautiful Star of Bethlehem.
Where's all the,
You want this?
the plates and stuff back here?
Guiding the pilgrims through the night, over the mountains till the break of dawn, and into the light of perfect day, it will give out a lovely ray. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on. Oh, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine upon us until the glory dawn. Oh, give us the light the way into the land of perfect day. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on. Oh, beautiful star, the hope of rest, for the redeemed, the good and blessed. Yonder in glory, when the crown is won. For Jesus is now that star divine, brighter and brighter he will shine. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on. Oh, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine upon us until glory comes. Oh, give us the light the way into the land of perfect day. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on.
The Herdmans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied, stole, smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and cussed their teachers. They took the name of the Lord in vain, and they set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old tool shed. There were 6 of them: Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. They went through the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip our bones clean. They went to town the same way, stealing things, teaching things, and whamming kids, so it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmans there, and Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's Charlie. That's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing was about church. Charlie said, "No herdmans." That made the teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God, Jesus, and good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth: no herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. Their other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about church is the herdmans are never there.
That's not a very Christian attitude, it seems to me, Charlie.
Well, it's a very practical one. Charlie was black and blue all this year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herman in school.
Is Leroy the worst one?
They're all the worst ones.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you...
That doesn't make a difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's mean. She's fast, and she bites.
Sorry I asked. Just stay away from them all.
That's what I said. I said stay away from them. Go to church.
Well, I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
There's going to be no arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
But I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Well, tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't even want to be in it.
Just think how mean your father would feel on Christmas Eve, knowing that our own 2 children weren't in the Christmas pageant. Why, you'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan to go. You know how crowded it always is. They could use my seat. I'll just stay at home, put on my bathrobe, and relax. It's always the same anyway.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph all the time just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year, Maggie?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
Well, from what I've heard, that's not a serious drawback.
What do you-
Away in a manger sounds like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice, a bathrobe or bed sheets. Come on, let's go watch TV.
You know, kids, Mrs. Armstrong always tries to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Miss Armstrong just likes to run things.
Oh, Bob, they're right. She directs the Christmas pageant, she runs the church dinners, and she's the director of the Christmas bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach a sermon if someone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Maybe she can manage the hospital, because that's where she is. Talked to George at the drugstore. Said she broke her leg, said she'd be in traction for 2 weeks, laid up after the first of the year.
The first of the year? Why, we'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
Well, she's in charge of the Christmas pageant and the bazaar. Who's going to do those things? Bob, that was Edna McCarthy about the Christmas pageant.
What? Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't exactly what you would call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that has ever happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story, and the same old carols, the same old Mary and Joseph, and that's why Mrs. Bradley was stuck with it. And now Mrs. Armstrong.
I'll tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everybody a chance. Here's what I do. I start with Mary, and I tell them that we must choose our Mary very carefully because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph and how he was God's choice to be Jesus' father, and then that's how I explain that. Frankly, I don't spend too much time on Joseph because it's always Elmer Hopkins, and he knows all about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How can she talk on the phone if she was in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Maggie, we need some salt and pepper.
But I do explain about the wise men and the shepherds and how important they are, and I'll tell them that there are no small parts, only small actors. Remind the angel choir not to stare at the audience, and don't let them wear earrings. And things like that. And I don't tell them to wear chunky high heels, and I just hope you don't have too many baby angels because, Grace, that will be your biggest problem.
You will save some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
Well, I'm hungry. Leroy Herdman stole my lunch again today.
How can you let him do that day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's in the oven.
I'll get it.
You'll have to get someone to push the baby angels along. Otherwise, they'll get in each other's way and bend their wings. Bob could do that, and he could keep an eye on the shepherds, too. Oh, and another thing about the angel choir. Don't let them wear lipstick. They think it's a play.
Helen, I have to go. There's someone at my door.
That they wear lipstick, and it looks terrible, so tell them.
Helen, I have to go. I'll talk to you later. Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, can a man get some food around here? I ain't had a decent meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, it's just you, Bob.
I was getting lonely at the table.
Well, I'm sure Helen feels lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the phone's working.
I bet she told you no small parts, only small actors.
And getting someone to shove the baby angels on and making the shepherds shut up.
Yeah, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
And Grace, don't use just anyone's baby for Jesus. Get a quiet one. And better yet, get two if you can. And then if one turns out to be fussy, you can just switch them out. Hello? Grace? Are you there?
Mrs. Bradley didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Miss Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think up problems, and there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, she didn't count on the Herdmans to be there. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, give me my lunch back. Took my dessert again. How do you know? Because it isn't here. What was it? 2 Twinkies. That's what it was. Hey, Leroy, thank you so much for my lunch for today. Well, I'll even give you my lunch. I get all the refreshments I want at Sunday school. Chocolate cake, candy bars, Twinkies. We get all of them. You're lying. And ice cream and cupcakes. All we want. The minister? Nah, I think he's rich.
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans, and sure enough, the very next Sunday, they were there in Sunday school just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant?
It's like a play.
Like on TV? What's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part the best.
Come on, Maggie, Charlie, you and David, come on. Now, this isn't going to take very long if you all pay attention. Today, we are going to decide the main roles of our Christmas play. But you know what Mrs. Armstrong says, there are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what she says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Do you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to be in the front row of the angel choir or nobody else can see in it.
Well, I think Mary is the most important. Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means that the short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, girls, everyone's important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Beverly, will you step in the hall and see if anyone else is coming? Sure. Now, you little children will be our angels, so you need to tell your mothers that you need bed sheets for costumes. The angel choir will also need bed sheets. And if anybody has any old bathrobes at home, we could use those. What's the matter with you guys? Oh, well, let's just make some room for the Herdmans. What happened to Beverly?
I think she went home and I think she got sick.
Did she say she got sick?
Well, all I said was, "Hi, Beverly," and she left.
Oh, okay. Well, will someone tell her that we have practice next Wednesday at 6:30? Everyone needs to plan to be here. What if we get sick? You won't get sick, but of course, Mary and Joseph must be at absolutely every rehearsal. What if they get sick? They won't get sick either, Elmer. Well, Beverly got sick. We ain't started yet. Well, we don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, let's talk about Mary. We all know what kind of person she was. She was quiet, gentle, and kind. And the girl that plays Mary should be that kind of person. Do we have any volunteers? Yes, Imogene?
It's Imogene, and no, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll just make a list of volunteers and then we can decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Elmer, did you raise your hand? No. Just raise your hands, please. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Very well. Ralph Herdman will be Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. What other names can I put on my list? Janet, Sheila, Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
I don't want to.
I'll be Mary.
Shut it, Gladys. I'm already married. You can be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys, but of course we could dress you up.
Me too. Claude, you want to be a wise man? What's a wise man?
Just raise your hand.
What's there left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds.
Will they the shepherds, the wise men?
There we do, have some volunteers after all. Yes, Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just wanted to say I can't be a shepherd. I'm going to Texas.
Why didn't you say that before?
I just remembered. I can't be a shepherd either.
Why?
I'm allergic to sheep.
You know there's not going to be any real sheep.
Just the thoughts often make me itch. I can't be a shepherd either.
Why not?
I don't know. My mom just said I can't be a shepherd.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Burton hits too hard.
Why, Gladys isn't going to hit anyone. She's the angel of the Lord who visits the shepherds and tells them that Jesus is born.
It hits them.
Now, Elmer, that's ridiculous, and I don't want to hear another word about it. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's enough for today. But I expect everyone here Wednesday at 6:30.
It's good.
Alice, what is wrong with you? Why in the world didn't you volunteer to be Mary?
I don't know.
Get Gladys off of me!
I thought you were going to raise your hand.
It's Bradley!
Ugh.
Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't because I'm going to marry in this play. And I said, Imogene, I'm always marrying the pageant. And she said, well, then go ahead. And I'll stick a candy cane so far down your ear that no one can even reach it.
You know she wouldn't do that.
Yes, she would. The Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole pageant. And it'll be all your mother's fault.
It's pretty good stuff. That's good stuff. No, y'all ain't in there. Y'all ain't in there. Mom, Beth, where's Crystal? Here she comes.
Irma, Edna McCarthy here. Did you hear about well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else can you explain the 6 of them in the Christmas pageant when you know they should be in jail?
Hey Vera, Irma Slocum here. I've just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be married in the Christmas pageant. And I think, what? All 6 of them are going to be in the pageant? Vera, I live next door to that wild bunch, and I would rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from and who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of child is that to be the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins? He was what? Visiting the shut-ins? Well, I'm shut in and he wasn't visiting me.
I suggested to Grace to let them hand out programs at the front door, but she wouldn't hear She said, we never hand out programs for the Christmas pageant. And I said,
You better nail down the church and lock up all the silver and hide the collection plates before they clean them out.
What was the matter with Grace? Couldn't she have just sent them away or told them to go home? Oh, I feel responsible. If I'd have been up and around, this would have never happened.
If I'd been up and around, this would have never happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me. I'm on your side.
Helen
Car's over
Armstrong.
there.
Helen Armstrong's not the only woman that can run a Christmas pageant. I had decided just to do the best I could under the circumstances. But now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever, and I'm going to do it with the Herdmans.
Well, good for you, Grace. Car's over here.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean?
Yes, Bob, you have to go. The inn is back here off stage, and the shepherds are going to come around and gather around the manger.
Where'd all the shepherds come from anyway?
What's an inn?
It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. It was Mary and Joseph.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel? Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Start at the beginning.
The beginning?
Did I stutter? The beginning of the play.
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Do you not know the story of how Jesus was born?
No, obviously. That's why I asked.
Well, that's what this Christmas pageant is about, so I'd better read it to you.
I can't believe that, do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story? Why not? They've never even seen a Bible, and they definitely didn't go to church until your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. And now we have to sit through all this and waste all this time for nothing.
All right, now, let's go to Luke chapter 2 in the Bible. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth unto Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
All right, that's enough. We all know that Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant. I don't think your mother should say that Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not allowed to talk about people being pregnant, especially not in church.
And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for him in the inn.
My gosh, they didn't have any room for Jesus?
Well, they didn't know that the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was wrong with Joseph that they didn't tell them? Her pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What if you had a newborn baby and had nowhere to put him?
Well, we put Gladys in a dresser drawer.
Okay, well, see, you didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh no, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it, and he didn't want to get out because he didn't like Gladys. Hey Ollie, you remember you didn't like Gladys? She's pretty mean.
That was pretty smart of Ollie, not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Hey, do you want something?
Anyways, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough used for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
It said in there she wrapped them up in wadded up clothes.
Oh, you mean swaddled clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tight in large pieces of material to make them feel warm and cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
The child welfare is at The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes.
Oh, honestly, there was no child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the... What?
As the black knight with horrible vengeance, the mighty marvel.
Gladys, I don't know what you're talking about.
The mighty marvel, horrible vengeance.
Gladys, this is the angel of the Lord.
As the black knight, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east bearing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, special spices and oils.
Oils? What kind of presents are oils? We get better presents than the welfare.
Were they the welfare, the wise men?
They were kings.
Well, it's about time somebody special showed up. If they're kings, they can get that baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, the main king at the time, and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My gosh, he just got born. They're going to kill a baby?
Who's Herod in the play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill the baby and he isn't even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's a king and all.
But then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod. I'm not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No, Joseph gets the shepherds together and goes wipe out Herod.
See, they're going to put one in. It's going to be me, and I'll be killed.
Forget about Herod. There is no Herod.
And I run away with the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody ought to fix that innkeeper. Gladys, you wipe out that innkeeper.
I can't, I'm an angel.
Wait, do we go?
I'll stand here. And I'll go first.
Come on. Well, I wouldn't just hang out in a barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I'd throw somebody out. I'd tell them I got this baby and it's in the middle of winter, so either move over or get out.
I'll go after old Herod.
I'll send the angel after him. She gets to pull her electric thing down and burn to a pile of ashes.
Yeah, that.
What's the name of this play again? You never said it. That's no name.
I know her name. I'll call her Revenge.
Revenge at Bethlehem. The Hermits thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on and not baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't letting Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby Jesus, and that bothered Mrs. Bradley. She kept trying to scratch up a baby even at the last rehearsal.
What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Miss Bradley called Mary pregnant? Gladys Herdman drinks the communion wine. By the way, it isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. I've seen her drink it. I've seen her mouth all purple like 3 times. And they steal too. If you go shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they take all the pennies out of it. And every time I go into the bathroom, the air is all blue, and I see Imogene Herdman sitting there in a Mary costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down? For what?
for my mother, Reverend Hopkins, the Ladies' Aid Society, and anyone else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turns into one big mess.
All right, everyone. Maggie, will you and Alice please come up here so we can get started? This is our last rehearsal.
Grace, I just wanted to tell you that we're all in the kitchen baking applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
Well, it's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a newborn baby a few weeks ago?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old.
Well, do you think I could call your niece?
Grace, no. I can make up some excuse and tell you that she's sick or cranky or something, but the truth is she's happy and healthy and beautiful, and we intend on her staying that way. Sorry, Grace, we're not about to let Imogene Herdman have at her.
Miss Bradley,
Yes, David?
you can have my baby brother for Jesus.
Oh, I didn't know you had a new baby.
He's not new. He's 4 years old. He's double jointed and can probably scrunch up.
Well, I don't think that's going to work.
I'll get us a baby.
Where are you going to find us a baby?
There's always 2 or 3 in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll get one of them.
Imogene, you can't just walk off with someone else's baby. Just forget it. We'll use a doll.
Yeah, a doll's better anyway. They can't bite.
And Imogene, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. I got my ears pierced, and if I don't wear something, they'll close together.
Well, they're not going to close together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor say to do?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys?
I bet she used an ice pick. I bet Imogene's ears will turn black and fall right off.
Well, you'll just have to find something smaller to wear. Now, is that your costume? Is that what you're wearing? You all are supposed to have your costumes on today.
I can't find my halo. My wings are all bent. My mother doesn't have any white sheets. Can I wear pink?
I haven't tried any costumes because I've never been a shepherd before.
I have to wear my father's bathrobe.
My father doesn't have a bathrobe.
What does he walk around the house in?
In underwear.
Okay, just forget it. Just pretend like we're wearing costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first we're going to practice the entrance just so you know where to come in. And we're going to start with the shepherds. Just read a few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music. Music. Shepherds. Shepherds.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to him, and
Shazam!
No, Gladys, you don't say anything. No.
a multitude of the heavenly hosts.
Music. Wise men. Oh, angels. Music. Wise man.
I've got a baby here. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No, you don't say anything. Mary and Joseph don't say anything. They make a lovely picture for everyone to look at. Now put the doll down.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel just walks up and tells me what to name the baby. I would have named him Bill.
Oh, what a terrible thing to say.
What angel was that? Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brings the good news to the shepherds. Do you listen?
Unto you a child is born.
Unto me, not them. I'm the one who had the baby.
No, that just means Jesus belongs to everyone. Unto us a child is born.
What did the angel do? Just walk up and say, name the baby Jesus?
Yes.
I know what he said. He said, he shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
If he had to write all that, he'd never get out of the first grade.
Miss Bradley, what should I do?
I need 5 minutes, Maxine, please. Everyone, 5 minutes.
They never did start over, and we never did go through the whole thing. The 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogene Herman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. Then Miss McCarthy went to the ladies' room and saw all of it full of smoke, and she called the fire department, who came right away.
Children, let's go. Come on. Gladys, get up, go.
They cleared everyone out of the building and dragged a fire hose through the church looking for a fire to put out, but the only one they found was in the kitchen. All the applesauce cake had burned up.
Oh.
Of course, all the ladies were mad about that. Miss McCarthy was mad, and Miss Bradley was mad.
Okay, I can take these out now.
Edna, why did you call the fire department over a little smoke?
It wasn't a little smoke. It was a lot of smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. Now look, the church is full of firemen, and the streets are full of baby angels, and shepherds climbing on the fire trucks. Didn't you know it was just cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' bathroom at church.
Alice Wendelkin's mother was mad too, and the whole Ladies' Aid Society was mad, and Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
Now who's calling? Hello?
Grace, this is Reverend Hopkins. I've been on the phone all day, and I can't make heads or tails of it. Some people say they set fire to the ladies' room. Some people say they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Wendelkin says all they do is talk about sex and underwear. And they didn't set fire to anything. Well, it turns out there was a fire in the kitchen where the applesauce cake burned out. Well, now the whole church is in an uproar. I don't know. Jesus said, suffer the little children to come unto me. But I'm not sure he meant the Herdmans. Grace, don't you think we should cancel the pageant?
Well, I bet that was Helen Armstrong's ideal.
Well, we could blame it on the fire. It makes for a pretty good excuse.
I guess that was Edna McCarthy's ideal.
Possibly. Everyone seems to think it's going to be a...
Disaster?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be the best Christmas pageant ever.
But Grace, I don't think anybody's going to come to see it.
Just watch.
She really didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie. But we were wrong because on Christmas Eve, the whole church was full. Everyone came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Wait till I turn the lights on. Now watch your step.
What do you plan to do with this thing anyway?
Well, I was going to use it for a palm tree, but I see now that doesn't really look like what it is. Oh, Bob, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. We've not once went through a rehearsal. The Herdmans still think it's some kind of action story. Might be the first time in history that the Christmas pageant, that Joseph and the wise men get in a fight and Mary runs off with the baby. Where are our kids?
All the kids in the world are downstairs putting on bed sheets.
I mean our kids.
We're here.
It's getting late. You two need to go put your costumes on.
Oh, it's going to be awful. They look like trick or treat, all dirty, fastened together by safety pins, wearing moldy old sneakers. Mary and Joseph, they look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were, Mary and Joseph. They were refugees in a way. They were a long way from home, no place to stay, didn't know anybody. They're probably cold, hungry, and tired, and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but them sure are messy.
Oh, Bob, do you think I should?
I think you worry too much. Now, I'm going to push the little angels out on stage, and I'm going to push the shepherds out and the wise men. When do I do all that?
Just follow this script.
Angels, shepherds, wise men. It doesn't say where the fire engine comes in.
Huh, very
I'm
funny.
just kidding.
Is everyone here? I need to see how you all look. Gladys, where's your halo?
A cat buried it, and shouldn't I have to say something besides the baby came? And why would they tell after some baby they don't even know? I should tell him where he is, and his name's Jesus.
No, Gladys, all you say is, unto you a child is born. Now, let's all go backstage and try to be quiet. Remember, good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
I know that, Alice, but I don't think in this case it's a very good idea. For you who don't know, break a leg is just a theatrical saying we use. It doesn't mean break your leg or anyone else's. Imogene, that's the baby. And for tonight, try to remember that's the baby Jesus.
Look at them. Aren't they awful? Oh, I don't think it's very nice to hold the baby Jesus, burping him as if he had colic or something.
Well, he could have had colic just like any other baby.
Well, I don't care. It still looks awful. They look awful.
So what? They came a long way. Now they don't have any place to sleep and they've got a new baby to worry about.
Who? Ralph and Imogene?
No, Mary and Joseph.
And in the region there were shepherds in the field keeping watch over their flocks by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto them and said, Fear not.
He's in the barn. Go see him. Go on.
And suddenly was a multitude of the heavenly hosts, saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
They look awful too. Oh, what's that Leroy's got?
It's a ham!
A ham? Well, they must have stole it.
No, I think it's the ham from their welfare basket.
Well, they must hate ham.
Well, even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they've gave away in their whole life.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these thoughts and pondered them in her heart.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Look, Maggie. Mary's crying. Mrs. Bradley, Mary's crying.
did seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the pageant was about a baby in a manger, and that was part of it, but it wasn't just any baby. It was about Jesus and his mother and father, who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor, and nobody they knew. And now because of the Herdmans, it was like a whole new story. Imogene burping the baby and the wise men bringing the ham, and even Gladys, he's in the barn, go see him. For Imogene, the Christmas pageant turned out to be all wonder and mystery, as if she caught on to what Christmas was really about. The Herdmans reminded all of us what Christmas is all about. It's about bringing Jesus our very best, even if it is just a ham. And it's about shouting to the world that he has come. We should never forget that Jesus came as a baby in a manger. But he didn't stay there. He was born, lived, and died just so that we would have a way to heaven. We should all be filled with the wonder of Christmas tonight. You know, when it was over, we had a party in the basement, but the Herdmans didn't even stay. They didn't have cocoa, they didn't walk off with all of the cookies, and they wouldn't even take their candy canes. They just quietly left.
Any kids left downstairs?
No, they're all gone. You know you have your bathrobe on, right? Are you planning on wearing it?
Why not? Somebody might think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken for a shepherd in this year's pageant.
Oh, yes, you would. Some old lady came up to me after the play and just hugged me because I was a shepherd. Should I bring this ham?
No, it's the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket. Leroy gave it as a present, and he said they don't take presents back.
Leroy said that? Oh, they must say ham.
You and Alice Wendell
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They'll go off at midnight.
Well, that's not far off. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
And it came to pass, and there were shepherds abiding, a multitude praising God. I bring you good tidings of great joy.
Unto you a child is born.